Dear viewers, imagine working 2 jobs through college, carrying your whole family on your back, finally building the life you prayed for, only to have it stolen by your own twin brother. Not a stranger, not an enemy, your blood. Before I begin, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it, because the story I am about to tell you could happen to anyone. His name was Daniel Carter. Born in a small town in Georgia, the kind of place where everybody knew everybody, and dreams often died before they left the county line. Daniel's father walked out when he was only 12, leaving him, his twin brother David, and their younger sister in the care of their mother, a woman who worked herself to the bone cleaning houses just to put food on the table. Daniel grew up fast. While other kids were at football games or parties, he was bussing tables at a diner, delivering groceries, and later working 2 jobs, bartender by night, delivery driver by day. He saved every dime, helping his mother keep the lights on and making sure his little sister had school supplies. He had no time for fun, no room for mistakes. And when he walked across that stage as the first in his family to graduate from college, the whole church clapped and cried. Daniel had become the family's pride, the hope they could all cling to. And yet, dear viewers, it is often those closest to us, those who know our every strength and weakness, who use them against us. His twin David had the same face, but not the same heart. David was charming, the kind of man who could walk into a room and have everyone laughing within minutes. He knew how to talk, how to charm, how to win trust, but he didn't know how to keep it. Where Daniel sacrificed, David gambled. Where Daniel saved, David borrowed and never paid back. He fell in with hustlers, with gamblers, with men who lived off scams and shortcuts. His mother wept for him, but he always said the same thing. Relax, Ma. One big win and we'll all be rich. But the win never came. Only debts, whispers, and broken promises. Still, Daniel loved him. After all, how do you stop loving the face that looks just like yours? In Atlanta, Daniel's life finally began to blossom. He landed a stable job as an engineer, bought a modest house, and met Amara, a woman with a smile that could calm storms. Amara loved Daniel not for his wealth, but for his steadiness, kindness, and sacrifices. For the first time in years, Daniel felt a sense of peace. He believed he could finally build the life he dreamed of. But shadows never stay away for long. While Daniel was on a work trip to Houston, David made his move. Pretending to check in on Amara as a brother-in-law-to-be, he began weaving his web. He borrowed Daniel's shirts, wore his cologne, and even studied his mannerisms. And Amara, innocent Amara, couldn't tell the difference. David whispered lies into her ears, mixed with sweet words she thought were Daniel's. To the outside world, no one could tell, because when David showed up at Daniel's job, at his church, even at Amara's doorstep, people thought it was him. And soon the rumors started. On Facebook, in the church group chat, even in Daniel's workplace, people said he was living a double life, cheating, lying, breaking Amara's heart. Daniel, the pride of his family, was suddenly the subject of whispers and mocking laughter. When Daniel returned from Houston, Amara's smile was gone. She barely looked at him. One night, she broke down in tears. Daniel, why would you do this to me? Why would you betray me? Daniel was stunned. Amara, what are you talking about? I've never. But she cut him off, trembling. Don't lie to me. I saw you, heard you. Everyone knows. Dear viewers, have you ever been accused of sins you never committed? Daniel's chest tightened. His reputation, everything he had worked for, was slipping away. At work, colleagues looked at him with judgment. At church, elders who once praised him avoided his eyes. Even his own mother, confused, asked him quietly if the rumors were true. Daniel was drowning in shame for crimes he never committed. And the worst part? He knew exactly who was behind it. His own twin. The breaking point came one summer evening at the family barbecue. Everyone was there, uncles, aunts, cousins, neighbors. The grill smoked, laughter filled the air, and children ran across the yard. And then David arrived, wearing Daniel's jacket, walking with Daniel's confident stride, greeting Amara with the kind of familiarity that made Daniel's blood boil. Daniel's heart pounded. Enough was enough. He stood before everyone and shouted, "This ends tonight!" The music stopped. All eyes turned. Daniel pointed at David. "You've been pretending to be me. You've stolen my name, my face, my life. Tell them the truth, David. Tell them what you've done." The crowd gasped, murmuring. Some shook their heads, others whispered, unsure who was who. David laughed, smooth as always. "Look at him. He's lost his mind. Can't handle the pressure. Maybe all those rumors are true, and now he's trying to blame me." For a moment, Daniel felt the ground slipping again. But then, with trembling hands, he pulled out his phone. Recordings, messages, proof, conversations where David had slipped, laughing about his schemes, mocking Amara, boasting about how easy it was to fool everyone. The crowd listened in shock. Their mother wept openly, realizing her fears were true. Amara's face turned pale as she heard David's voice, the same voice she thought belonged to Daniel. The mask was gone. The truth was bare. David's smile twisted into rage. He threw his drink on the ground, glaring at his brother. "You think this is over? You think you've won? No, Daniel. I'll be back. And when I return, I'll take everything from you. Not just Amara. Not just your reputation. Your whole life." With that, he stormed out, leaving silence and fear in his wake. And Daniel stood there, shaken, knowing deep down, this was only the beginning. Months had passed since that explosive barbecue. The family was still shaken, but Daniel thought maybe, just maybe, peace was returning. David had vanished, leaving no trace. Neighbors whispered, but gossip slowly died down. Daniel focused on rebuilding. His career, his faith, and his relationship with Amara. Amara reached out one quiet Sunday afternoon. She stood on Daniel's doorstep, eyes heavy with guilt. "Daniel," she whispered, "I was blind. I let him fool me. But I know now it wasn't you. I want to make things right." Daniel's heart ached. He loved her still, but trust once shattered is fragile. He let her in, but walls stood between them, walls David had built with lies. And though Daniel wanted to believe in healing, shadows were already creeping back into his life. Started small. Daniel tried to buy groceries, and his debit card was declined. Strange, since he had money in the account. The bank called later. Someone had drained thousands of dollars, wiring them overseas. Days later, Daniel's car alarm blared at 2 a.m. He ran outside to find his tires slashed. On his windshield was a note, scribbled in handwriting that looked too familiar. "You can't stop me." At work, his boss called him into the office. "Daniel, we've received complaints. Clients say you promised them contracts, took money, and disappeared. What's going on?" Daniel's head spun. He hadn't spoken to any of those clients. He tried to explain, but the boss's eyes were skeptical. Trust was cracking. Soon the whispers returned, worse this time, but not about infidelity, about fraud. On Facebook and LinkedIn, fake profiles popped up with Daniel's picture. promising investment deals. People claimed they wired money to Daniel and were scammed. Screenshots flooded the internet. In church, members whispered about FBI investigations. At the grocery store, neighbors avoided his eyes. Amara looked at him with fear. "Daniel, what's happening? Is this him again?" Daniel clenched his fists. He knew David was back. And this time, he wasn't just playing with Daniel's heart. He was targeting his entire life. One night, Daniel got a call from a desperate man. "Sir, you promised me a job in your company. I paid you $5,000. Where's my offer letter?" Daniel froze. He didn't even know the man. Days later, surveillance footage surfaced of a gas station robbery. The blurry figure had Daniel's face, his mannerisms, his voice. It was David, wearing his face, living in his shadow, using his identity to commit crimes Daniel would be blamed for. The breaking point came on a rainy Thursday morning. Daniel was leaving for work when flashing red and blue lights filled his driveway. Police officers stormed out, guns drawn. "Daniel Carter, you're under arrest for fraud, identity theft, and wire scams across 3 states. Daniel's knees buckled. He shouted, "Wait, you've got the wrong man. It's not me. It's my brother." But who would believe him? To the world, David and Daniel were the same. Amara screamed as Daniel was handcuffed, shoved into the back of a police car. Neighbors filmed on their phones, uploading videos online before the car even drove away. Daniel sat in the back seat, rain streaking down the window, his wrists cold in iron cuffs. And in that moment, he realized the truth. David didn't just want to steal his life. He wanted to erase him forever. Dear viewers, what would you do? Sitting in a cell for crimes your own twin committed. Who would believe you when your own brother wears your face? This was Daniel's reality. And part 2 will reveal how the war between brothers spiraled into something darker than anyone could imagine. Like, share, and subscribe, because the storm has only begun.